Let's see. Well, so I live up in the San Juan Islands, and I've been sailing ICs. I built my first IC in 1984, sailed it for a couple of years, and got out of the class and was building rowing shells. That was my most of my working life. I was building rowing shells and too busy for dinghy sailing. And then in 2006, I heard of the canoes were considering a new rule that converted them back to their old development class rules. So a much lighter boat, narrower, much more open design challenge. So I got back into it in 2006, 2007, built a boat, took it to Australia, to the Worlds, did pretty well, and anyway, just kept up with it since then.
Yeah, and you won the Worlds in...
I won the Worlds in Germany in 2011. Worlds are every 3 years. Right. That was our last Worlds.
Right, so this is your first time in San Francisco, or were you here in '93 when it was held?
I wasn't here in '93. This is my first San Francisco Worlds. But I did live in the Bay Area for years and years, and I sailed my first IC in '84. I had down here.
Okay. And you actually build the things up in San Juan Island?
I do. Yep. I build them on my little island up there. Got a shop and build 1 or 2 a year if I'm lucky.
And the construction is made out of what these days?
Construction's carbon fiber, mostly a foam core, epoxy resin.
Okay. And how many other builders are there in the United States?
Oh, there's no other professional builder. I'm the closest thing to a professional builder, but a lot of guys build their own boats. The Clarks, Steve Clark and his 2 sons, Willie and David, always build their own boats, and the occasional one for other people.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of home builders here, a lot of crazy tinkerers. It's a great boat for people who have an idea and want to give it a try.
So the class is open now? The
class is, yeah. I mean, there are some restrictions, kind of like an International 14. It's a box rule.
Yeah, and the limitations are a 6 foot.
Let's see. The seat has a extension limitation, and there's a length limitation on the hull. Minimum beam, minimum weight, sail area 10 square meters of sail. Yeah, a few little things like that. But within those rules, you have pretty wide latitude to goof around with new stuff.
Okay.
So on this boat, I've got a T-foil on the rudder. That's my oddball thing this time around.
And have you found that to be effective?
Well, at times. Yeah, this boat I made really narrow in the bow, and I was a little concerned about how scary it was going to be to sail downwind in a breeze. So the T-foil allows me to pull down on the stern a little bit and keep the bow up. Okay. So not fast in theory because it adds drag, but if it keeps me upright, then that's a good thing.
Okay. And if people wanted to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
Oh, let's see.
Do you have a website?
I don't have a website.
Okay.
No, I'm just, yeah.
Do you have an email address you can contact you?
Yeah, you can find me in the San Juan Islands phone book.
Okay.
Probably the easiest thing to do. Okay. Or contact any IC sailor and how to get hold of me if you can find an IC sailor.
Okay, and what does the fleet look like up in the Seattle area?
Oh, there's nothing. Yeah, there's a boat or two in Vancouver. We're just sort of scattered all over the place. The closest thing to a fleet on the West Coast is here in San Francisco. A couple hot spots on the East Coast.
Yeah, so you make a few trips down here a year.
I make some trips down here, go down to the gorge, maybe to get some heavy air practice. And, yeah. I mean, most of the fun for me is designing and building it. Okay. And then the racing is just a way to test what I've done, see if it actually works or not.
And are you also a sail maker, or is that somebody else?
No, I'm not making the sails. I made my sails last time, but boy, I'm going to leave that up to the sail makers from here on out. It's really hard to make some nice sails.
And who else in the States is sailing your product?
Let's see, Mikey, who is leading the series right now. He was second in the last race. He's sailing one. Dell Olson from Richmond, Stephen Gay from Nevada. Who else? It seems like there's one other guy on the West Coast. Can't think of who it is. Yeah, what a memory. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so tired after this.